Welcome, scholars. This is a quick overview of 1.6. Please keep in mind, if you are not all done writing your narrative, stop the video now and go back to 1.5. You should first finish your narrative and then move on to 1.6. Okay, if you're here, that means that you're all done writing and we're going to start working on language development and revising. Keep in mind that we are on Champs Red for this document. If you need help, you'll raise your hand, give the appropriate hand signal, and I'll come over and help you. But before raising your hand, go ahead and watch this video all the way. Feel free to speed it up, pause, and then continue watching as you work on the document. So, the first thing, there are a couple of sections. I want to show you that there is this box here. These yellow boxes are actually the sections that you'll be completing. There are 4 yellow boxes throughout this document. So this is where you're going to pause, go back to your essay, make sure that you're working on these items, and then come back to the document. In the first yellow box, it's going to ask you to reread your essay, add vivid words, make sure that you have a variety of sentences, and as you work on the document, it's going to help you add this into your essay. So don't worry if you don't have it yet. Don't check it off and then come back to it. Make sure that you're only checking off items that you have actually completed. Remember, you're going to evaluate yourself. A peer will evaluate you next class, and then I will evaluate you the final draft. Right? So make sure you're not checking any items off that you have not completed. Next, make sure you do a spelling and grammar check. In order to do a spelling and grammar check, you'll go to Tools, Spelling and Grammar check. Use 3 vocabulary words. So here's our list. Go back, look through your essay, and make sure that you have 3 of these words. Highlight 5 descriptive sentences. This is where you're using your 5 senses. What you'll do is you'll go back to your essay, you'll select and highlight any color you want and highlight those 5 descriptive sentences. Then, if you don't have any descriptive sentences, go back and add descriptive words. In order to do that, I went ahead and added the link for the lesson. If you go to slides, these here, 13, 14, and 15, they might change the order, but this is what they look like. We made a list together as a class. So take a look at this list and see if there's any words here that you can use. If there are none here, you can always go to Google and look for synonyms and descriptive words. Next, this is kind of tricky, so please pay close attention. For this section, you are going to highlight your narrative with, it says 2, I'm going to change this to 1. So I'm going to change this actually to 1. So 1 example for each of these check boxes. So make sure that you are highlighting, for this one, you need to highlight the introduction, but only highlight the introduction if you have a clear setting, you're introducing the characters, you're describing them. So for example, don't just say at my house. Make sure you're describing your house. Don't say my brother. Describe what your brother is like, okay? If you don't have those descriptive details, pause, go and add that, and then highlight. Next, make sure that you are going beginning, middle, end, using the correct order of the sequence of events. Finally, here in this section, highlight the conclusion, but just like the introduction, make sure that you have descriptive details before you highlight the conclusion of your essay. Here, you're going to have narrative techniques such as dialogue and pacing. If you go more down through this document, it's going to go over dialogue and pacing. So come back and check this off later. Descriptive details and sensory language. So you'll go ahead and add those descriptive details, add that sensory language, and come back and check this off. And work on your writer's voice. So how is it that you speak? Like, who is it that you are as a writer? You're going to work on that here in this first section. It goes over your author style, your voice. Next, the final section here, which is green, you're going to do that spell check. So once again, please use this tool and spell check. I know some of you said that you have Grammarly. You can use that as well, but this is a great tool because it's already embedded into Google Docs. Finally, you're going to go ahead and make sure that you have a variety of sentences. Avoid using I at the beginning of every single sentence. Also, no run-on sentences. I've looked at some of the first drafts and I see that paragraph 1, the introduction, is one long sentence. Break those sentences up into different chunks and make sure that you're not starting with I in every single sentence. Please keep in mind that you will highlight each section according to the colors. So all 3 of these will be yellow, these will be orange, and the final ones are going to be green. Finally, you have 2 more. Dialogue and pacing. For dialogue, I included a quick video here on YouTube if you're not sure how to add dialogue into your writing. I've seen a couple of students that have, so if you need to watch this, feel free to click on the video. The last section here is going to go over using very precise words and language. So make sure you're changing your vague words. So words like stuff, said. Okay, how did they say it? Did they shout? Did they exclaim? Were they asking a question? Change your vague words and give me precise words. You can also go ahead and once again use the lesson and look at these descriptive words, and these can also help you add precise words, vivid language. Finally, when you're all done, you're going to come down here and click on the exit slip, which is actually your self-evaluation. For this section here, we're going to be using the same rubric that we used in class, and you will evaluate yourself. So evaluate your essay. What do you think you received? A 1, 2, 3, 4? Hopefully not a 0. Give me your name, your period, the grade, and why you deserve this grade. And that's it for section 1.6. If you have any questions after watching this video and reading the document, please make sure you're on Champs Red and you raise your hand. Thank you and good luck.